Cuban sells. LeBron sees a moment. I'm going to go get him. And it took a year of working the channels behind the scenes, but the idea this was a big surprise caught everybody off guard. I don't buy it.
Nobody buys it. There's no way that's what it was. We've talked about this on the first part of this video, but it's like there's just no way that LeBron didn't know that Anthony Davis was going to get the axe and Luka Doncic was coming to be a Laker. The biggest problem with all of this, though, is what the fuck was the Mavs thinking? Like, when they decided, I'm going to destroy our franchise and trade the number one player, a top 3, top 4 player in the league for Anthony Davis, what exactly are they getting out of this that makes the juice worth the squeeze? From all reports, we've seen a lot. We've seen the Vegas conspiracy theorists, which we have to use that word now. So we've seen the Vegas conspiracy. We saw the conspiracy about the Luka drinking beer. We saw them talking about how ownership is trying to get a casino in Dallas, so on and so forth. So many things that's not going their way. So many reports. All of them could be true. None of them could be true at the same time. That's why they use the word conspiracy. From what I've seen, the only thing that makes sense out of everything that I've seen is one of two things. Either Nico and the owner, because you have to get his approval, but either Nico is seriously under wraps, because we know one thing. He's very close with Anthony Davis. We knew that. Reports came out, Anthony Davis and Nico were very close, right? So either Nico really, really just hated Luka, him and the owner. And I can see why. Luka was probably a drama queen. Nico seems more like an old school dude who grew up around Kobe. So he's with the no nonsense type of mentality. He doesn't like divas in that sense. The divas, the pampered, spoiled, disrespectful divas. And it sounds also like Luka is just a very disrespectful person. At least he was in Dallas. It's his world. You guys are all living in it. You guys are ants to him. And because of player empowerment, a lot of these players really do think that they have more power than they do. But the truth is they actually do have this power, but they have more power than they should. Truthfully. So it's probably, from what I've seen, Luka's really an asshole and a dick, and no one really liked him. And because they didn't like him, they wanted him out of there. And they looked at it and they crunched all the numbers and said, there's no way we'll ever win with this guy. On top of us not liking him, I don't see a championship coming over the next decade, 10 seasons. And if we don't get a championship out of it for the next 10 seasons, then why keep him around? And then they said, well, who can we get to fill this team around? And he said, I know, my boy, my main man, Anthony Davis. That's the most logical thing about it that I can see. They really just didn't like Luka. They just didn't fuck with him. But if it's the overwhelming conspiracy, if it's what happened with Vegas and what happened with the casinos and LeBron, pulled all the strings and somehow got it in, then I'm willing to think that what I'm saying is true. And the second part about it is maybe Nico was a Manchurian candidate. If we want to dig a little deeper, maybe Nico was a Manchurian candidate. Maybe somehow, some way he has really close. We do know that he was a Nike, right? We know that Nico was the executive who lost Steph Curry. Everybody's been talking about it. He's really deep into the Nike. He doesn't work for Nike no more, allegedly, from what I've seen. But it could be that LeBron got to Nico from their time in Nike, put him in to be the general manager of the Mavs. And if this ever comes out, this would be so crazy. But he could have put him in to be the general manager of the Mavs. And then Nico spent the next couple of seasons making Luka look bad from an image perspective to the owners so that he could convince them that their best thing was to trade Luka Doncic to the Lakers in order to help out LeBron. It does seem like LeBron knew something big was coming, because the fact that he even re-signed with the Lakers was ridiculous. The fact that the Lakers kept Bronny James. The fact that the Lakers went behind all the wishes of their fans who, let's be honest, were ready to move off LeBron James. Why were people mad that Bronny James was a Laker? Why are you guys hating on this young man? No one was mad that Bronny was a Laker. Everyone was mad that LeBron James was re-signing. Everybody, all the fans were ready to move off of LeBron at the end of the season last year. They all thought it was time to move off of him, build off Anthony Davis. We weren't stupid, guys. As trash as they said D'Lo was, and as trash as they said everybody else in the game was, right? Everybody in the game, everybody, Austin Reeves, Rui, Vando suck. Everybody sucks but LeBron. LeBron needs help. Laker fans aren't beholden, and I mean true Laker fans. Not LeBron fans who wear Laker jerseys. Laker fans who are truly beholden to the Lakers said, it's time to get off LeBron. We don't really like him anyway. Kobe's their guy. They don't really like LeBron anyway. Get him off this team. And since they decided to do the exact opposite, everybody took that hatred and that pain mostly out on Bronny James. And honestly, most of it is rightfully so, because that's, no matter how you look at it, if you're a fan who cares about the production of basketball, there's no way that Bronny James makes you a better basketball team. It just doesn't. Neither does JJ Redick, a rookie coach at the time, when the first thing they said when they fired Darvin Ham, Rob Pelinka came over with reports, we're looking for a veteran leader. That's what the report said. A veteran leader. What do? They get a rookie head coach and call him Pat Riley. So you guys think everybody's just haters. No, people are just tired of being lied to. People can sense BS. They just don't know where it's coming from because they're not invested enough to know where it's coming from. People like us invest our time into figuring out stuff because we love the game of basketball. You feel me? You see the shows, you start to realize who's who. You start to realize where the clutch sports client is coming from. You start to realize LeBron is a dictator of the NBA and not the NBA ambassador. He's the NBA's dictator, masquerading as an ambassador. So when you look at all of this, could that be true? Could Nico have been put in by LeBron the entire time? Honestly, I wouldn't put it past LeBron, bro. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't put it past him. This Colin Cowherd coming out now and saying that LeBron's known for over a year, that's a very conspicuous story to push out to the masses. You have to look deeper into stuff like this, because they all know the truth. They all, and for some reason, I want you guys to pay attention. Everybody who watches, if you watch any other videos, if you pay attention to Nick Wright a lot, he always talks about being at some event with Rich Paul and Clutch Sports. He's always talking about, he was just saying before the Super Bowl that Jalen Hurts' mom came up to him, but he was allegedly at some type of Maverick Carter, Rich Paul event. These guys get together at these events all the time. Why are they always having them? I don't know. Is it really an event, or is it a Nike/Clutch Sports team meeting? Possibly. But they're letting you know on a constant basis that they have the ties. Not only do they have the ties, they have these point of attacks and these strategies. They're around this dude too close for this to be some shit that he just popped out of his ass. There's just no way he just said this just cuz. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of truth going to what Colin Cowherd is saying here. And if that is the case, As a Laker fan, once you stop jumping and celebrating and salivating at the mouth because, hey, Luka Doncic is now a Laker, you have to step back and you have to sit here and look and go, so you mean to tell me this entire time, not only is LeBron a snake to AD, but this entire time, LeBron could have been locked more in on defense? He could have been putting his best foot forward like Kobe used to do. How many times could the Lakers have made the finals had LeBron taken the regular season more seriously? He's been with the Lakers for 7 seasons. He didn't make the playoffs for 2 of them. Right? And it was always everybody else's fault. Also, why the hell did the Lakers randomly trade D'Angelo Russell? Why was D'Angelo Russell always on the trading block? It was always him. It was never anyone else. D'Lo has to go. And in comes another point guard named Luka Doncic like a month and a half later. But for the last 2 seasons, everybody's been calling for D'Angelo Russell's job. Everybody around Clutch Sports has been saying D'Angelo Russell has to go. Why? Why are we getting rid of our point guard? I thought LeBron didn't want to be the only facilitator. Now he does? Isn't that interesting? Why did Anthony Davis call for a center and all of a sudden he's on a trade block? Why doesn't LeBron like playing with centers? Why was Anthony Davis being a good soldier and playing center for the last 3-4 seasons? Well, that was easy to solve. It's because LeBron can't play with 2 bigs because it clogs the paint. And like I said, this man has no bag. Layups and dunks, guys. If he has 2 centers there, power forward and a center, how can he get his easy layups and dunks when the paint is clogged with 2 other centers playing defense? Interesting, right?
I don't buy it. LeBron is his intuitiveness. You call it selfish. I call it right. I've never seen a guy that, stuff just.
He's letting you know that he's a fucking slivering snake. You call it selfish. I call it right. You call it dictatorship. I call it a savant. He's turning negatives into positives. He's a snake. He's a serpent of a man. He will sell his own soul. He'll probably sell his own kids in order to get ahead in life. If they say, hey, come sacrifice a family member, he would do it for millions. He's a snake. He's a money-loving fiend. If you had to guess, there's no God in this man, bro. There's no God that he worships outside of money and power.
Implodes. And LeBron's like, oh, what happened back there? Woo-hoo. Boy, did I get lucky. Wink, wink. I avoided another disaster. Nah, it ain't luck, man. I think he had this Luka thing planned out. The minute Steph said officially no, I think he had this Luka thing planned out the last year and a half. I really do.
He's not lying there. There's no luck in this. This isn't lucky. The Lakers didn't luckily trade for Luka. The Mavs didn't randomly lose their shit and say, hey, let's just give Luka to the Lakers. I think there's a good reasoning that Nico might be a Manchurian candidate, but that's just me.
I absolutely do.
So you heard what he had to say. What are my thoughts on this? Do I believe LeBron knew? I'll tell you what. I think a part of Anthony Davis knows or realizes now that he got snaked. I believe so. For the simple fact that AD said he doesn't believe all of that stuff about nobody knew. He believes that somebody knew. I think AD came to the realization that he got snaked.
Definitely. Without a doubt, he got snaked. This man put all his trust in LeBron, and the reason why he trusted him is because at the same time, y'all got to realize Anthony Davis is a Clutch Sports client. So Rich Paul works for AD. But what he didn't realize is that Rich Paul really works for LeBron. Clutch Sports is LeBron and Rich Paul. I know he knows that. But Rich Paul will go behind any other player's back in order to support LeBron. He's done it plenty of times. He did it to Caldwell Pope. He did it to every Clutch Sports client that's been on the Lakers up until now. And even till now, because look at Anthony Davis, going like the wind. In order to support LeBron, Rich Paul will manipulate the system in any type of way because that is his best friend. That's his guy. And also because LeBron is a part owner of his same company. So it is what it is, man. You got snaked, bro. And you got snaked well over a year ago. If you let Colin Cowherd tell this story, the fix was in on you damn near 2 seasons ago. During the whole Darvin Ham fiasco, he wanted you up out of there, boy. And he finally got it done.
80 thought he was off limits, and he never was. He never was. Right? And by 80 saying he believes people knew, I said it in that show then, and I'm going to say it now. What people do you think 80's talking about? You think he's talking about me and you? You think he's talking about Stephen A. Smith?
Hell no, that boy talking about Bron. He talking about Rich Paul and he talking about LeBron. He ain't talking about nobody else. He ain't talking about no Shannon Sharp. He talking about Rich Paul, LeBron. He might even be talking about Brian Windhorst.
You think he talking about Colin? You think he's talking about Colin Cowherd? You think he talking about the dude walking up the street? He's talking about the players, the major players in this situation, like the agents. Like the agents. He believes probably that his agent knew. Because if they're saying that LeBron knew,
I think he knows he knew. But see, this is what I mean by a dictatorship. LeBron has a dictatorship on the league because let's say we're all right, right? Let's say everything that, you guys claim us LeBron haters and whatever you want to call us, let's say everything we said is right. The biggest question then is, well, how come nobody's come out? Why won't Anthony Davis come out and call LeBron James out if LeBron did him dirty, right? He was bickering with the Lakers at the Mavs game. I don't know if that was just for the Hollywood talk or whatnot, but why won't he just come out and say, fuck Bron, fuck Lakers, fuck Rich Paul, whatever. Why he wouldn't do that is because, again, LeBron runs a dictatorship in the league. Basically, if you ever go against LeBron, and realistically speaking, there's people who feuded with Bron, fought with Bron. There's only been one person to ever go against LeBron James in the NBA. And I mean go against. And that person was Delonte West. Let's just be honest. The only person to ever go against LeBron James was Delonte West. And look at him now. Look at where Delonte West is. In Dallas somewhere. On the street. Right? Drugged out his mind. Trying to get right. This is what I mean by LeBron runs a dictatorship. If you come out, and this is all alleged, because he might come for me, but if you come out and you Delonte West LeBron and do what he did to his mama, you feel me? Even though, LeBron mom, that's, But anyway, if you come out and go against LeBron like that, you're going to be strung out in the middle of Texas somewhere with a needle in your arm. Strung out your mind. You're going to lose everything you've ever built. Everything you've ever created. You cannot touch LeBron in the NBA. You just cannot do it. It's not possible. If AD comes out and talks about the reason why Kyrie Irving asked for a trade from the Cavs was because LeBron James tried to trade him first 2 different times, but the second time he tried to get Paul George and Eric Bledsoe in exchange for Kyrie Irving. And the only reason why that deal didn't go through is because LeBron would not make a promise to the owner of the Cavs that he would re-sign there afterwards. So he didn't do the trade. Kyrie Irving asks for a trade right after that, finding out. On top of the fact that LeBron James allegedly took one of his was after his GF at the time. So you got to ask yourself, bro, why didn't Kyrie Irving come out and disrespect and call LeBron out for what he was? Because LeBron is a dictator, fam. You can't do that. You're going to be Delonte West in 5 seconds if you're an active player disrespecting LeBron on that level. You just can't. This is the type of power LeBron has in the league. It's sickening. It needs to stop. He needs to retire. Clutch Sports needs to get their asses and their palms off of this entire sports industry.
Rich Paul knew. And Rich Paul represents AD. So I'm not saying that definitively. I'm not saying that because I spoke to Anthony Davis.
And keep in mind, too, y'all, when LeBron did that to Kyrie Irving, when Kyrie Irving, I should say, asked for that trade, afterwards, the media spent about 5 seasons calling out Kyrie Irving a crazy kook, a flat earth theorist, the next Kanye West. It all imploded when he disrespected a Jewish, said something about a Jewish person, and he dropped that Hebrews to Negroes documentary that he was telling everybody to go look at from Amazon, right? Now all of a sudden everybody's talking about Kyrie as this good guy, this leader of a team, because he had to shut up and go to Dallas. Kyrie Irving had to literally turn around one day and apologize to LeBron in order for them to get some of the heat off his ass. They did nothing but ridicule this man the whole time, just like they did Kevin Durant when he went against LeBron and went to the Golden State Warriors and impeded LeBron from winning 2 more championships. LeBron would have retired. Had Kevin Durant never went to the Warriors, LeBron would have won 2 more rings because the Warriors, there's just nothing they could have did. They were exposed at that point. And they didn't have that much talent to begin with. LeBron had this fucking super team. Kyrie Irving was almost as good as Steph Curry. And Steph Curry is the number 1 player on the Warriors. That should tell you something right there. And then you got Kevin Love, who's 3rd in MVP voting the year before, bro. Yeah, they were going to win those 2 rings, right? LeBron would be sitting on 6 championships right now. At the time, with that being 3 and 2, he would have 5. He probably would have 6 championships right now, and he would have retired like 4 seasons ago. And everybody would have been trying to call him the GOAT, even though he manufactured his whole life. And because Kyrie Irving got in the way of that, and Kevin Durant got in the way of that by asking for it, by signing with the Warriors, the media lambasted Kevin Durant, called him weak, so on and so forth. When LeBron did the same thing and created that blueprint when he went to Miami, right? Crazy, man.
But I believe a part of him is like, nah, somebody got to know. Somebody got to know. Somebody got to know. Now, in terms of Colin Cowherd saying that LeBron knew for the last year and a half, it's possible. It's absolutely possible. Some of y'all are like, no, that's impossible. No, it's not. And I'll give you guys concrete evidence of it. You don't have to listen to me. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Lenny Kravitz, right? Lenny Kravitz, right? Miami Heat trade. Because I'd seen this video some years ago.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick this up on part 3, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm up out of here.